No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
Pow day.
Dude, let's go.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Bronco Nation News Live from BroncoNationNews.com is presented by RowPaint.com, the official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now, here's four-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Well, good morning, Bronco Nation. It is semifinal Friday here at the Mountain West Tournament in Las Vegas, and we are kicking off game day here at Stadium Swim, 143-foot screen. You see there the gambling odds on the side. The games are going on. Folks are in the pool. Folks are drinking. Folks are cannonballing. Maybe we'll get Jay Tust to do that here shortly, but we are having fun on a Friday of the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament. We are in Cabana 7. If you are here, come join us. Cabana 7. You come out the main entrance. You turn to the right. And we're going to have a good time here for the next couple hours as we get you set for a big-time game tonight. Boise State and New Mexico in the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament. The pools are heated. Jay Tust, it may not be perfect weather today, but better than last year. And we got a big basketball game tonight, so we're gonna be fine either way.
Yeah. Oh, we're here. It's been a minute since we got to experience semifinal Friday, and last time we did, they went on and they won the whole darn thing, you know, with Abu Kijab leading the way and a true freshman in Tyson Dagenhart that is now on the cusp of becoming the all-time leading scorer in school history. Closing in on that record, he might as well get it today. Big game and another chance at New Mexico.
Melinda says, keep it going, Broncos. We got Brian saying, great win yesterday. Let's take care of business tonight. Bob Peterson's already going 75-72 for his score prediction tonight. Jay, they are bringing in some of the beverages here bright and early. I know that's.
I'm still finishing my coffee.
Anyone that wants to stop by and hang out today, we'd love to have you. We do have a guest mic available right here, so if anybody stops by in the next hour or so, we'd be happy to throw you on and talk about Boise State. And Jay, we will get to tonight's game a little later, but we got to go back to last night, the quarterfinal matchup. Boise State Down 11 in the first half, 2 huge threes right before halftime. I mean, there's so many angles to this game, but we had mentioned it yesterday when we were over at the D, 18 straight years. And by the way, let us know if it's overmodulated, sounds okay. Let us know. We don't have our tech help today, so let me know if everything looks okay, sounds okay, and hopefully we're good. But 18 years in a row, Jay Tust, San Diego State had won in the quarterfinal round. They have played on semifinal Friday 18 years in a row. Boise State only 4 times that they won in the quarterfinals. I mean, which sounds crazy. 13 years previously under Leon Rice, only been in the semifinals 4 times. The trends were not on Boise State's side, but just what a gritty, gutsy effort to get it done last night. Just a really impressive game.
It was a surprising start, and we really couldn't believe what we were watching. Like, for them to not make a field goal from inside the 3-point line for the first basically 10 minutes and somewhere between 13 to 15 seconds, depending on what stat book you look at. But over 10 minutes, they go without making a 2-point field goal. They didn't even attempt a 2-point field goal for like the first 6 minutes of the game. And it was kind of like an off-balance, last-second shot clock winding down, huck it up. Like, it was a wild game plan by Leon Rice, Tim Duryea, I'll throw Moats in there, Bernie, like all of those guys got in the lab. They concocted up some crazy game plan, and it absolutely worked to perfection. And I want to say this too. Whenever you jack up a lot of threes, I think we're all guilty of just ball goes up, follow ball, watch if it goes in or not. Go back and watch that game. Watch what was going on when that ball was in the air.
Guys were
the Broncos were crashing the glass, and they were absolutely the more physical team last night. I guarantee you, ball goes up. RJ Keene wasn't watching it. RJ Keene was getting in position to go hit somebody and get on the offensive glass, and they got 13 offensive rebounds as a result. RJ was an animal, Melinda.
Yes, that was super impressive, and you're right, because I was wrong. I mean, and I do want to say this. They went 11 of 40. Let's not act like their strategy 100% worked here. They went 11 of 40, and they shot 27% from 3. So I don't want – I mean, they deserve credit. They hit some big ones when they needed to. But overall, it's not like they went out and made 23s and shot 50% from the field. But they show – I said yesterday that you're not going to shoot your threes all game, all day against this team, or you're not going to win. And they went out and literally, as you said, it was over half the first half until they took a 2-point shot or until they made a 2-point shot. And I think their first 13 or 14 shots were threes. And Leon said in the postgame, we wanted 36 to 50 threes. Like, they just told those guys, we're going to have one of those old school games where we just jack it up. And every time they were open, they let it fly. And I guess for a team that's not great shooting, when the coaches say, hey, no matter what, just keep on chucking it, that gives you confidence, I guess. And sure enough, a guy like Tyson airballs one. It's 1 for 6 from 3 for the game, and then hits maybe the biggest shot of the game to put Boise State in the lead with about 5 minutes to go. Yeah,
in the 3-point attempts are it's the easy and the obvious storyline. But again, for me, it comes back to offensive rebounding. And before we move on, I'll bring it up real quick. We can get to it. But also the final 9 minutes of the game defensively, Boise State was you almost literally could not score on them. Like it was,
we're going to get to the defense.
Yeah, we'll get there. But the thing I like about it too is I personally think, BJ, there was also like this like mental approach here that Boise State hasn't always had a lot of success here, and Leon Rice wanted his guys playing free and easy, and he didn't want them second guessing themselves or anything like that. So the goal, if you're open, shoot the freaking ball. And now, I mean, to the point where Leon told us in the post-game press conference yesterday, he actually, for the first time in his career, took Tyson Degenhardt out of practice because he passed up a shot, and just wanted to remind him, no, you're a great shooter. If you're open, shoot the shot.
Yeah, he said, if you're not going to shoot, you might as well stand over here next to me. And he 5 of 12, and I rewatched part of the game this morning, Jay, because I couldn't sleep this morning, and sure enough, we had gone 8 minutes in the game, and he had won a shot attempt again. But they kept, never, and we kept sitting there going, there's no way this was the game plan. There's no way this was the game plan. And sure enough, we found out after the game.
It was the game plan.
It was
exactly the game plan.
43 is that tied a school record, correct?
40 3-point attempts. Yes.
11 of 40. If I had told you before the game, Jay, Boise State for the game is going to shoot 33.9%.
No.
And if they're going to shoot 27.5% from 3-point range,
not a chance.
We would have thought it was not even a close game.
I would thought it would have been a blowout. And that's even what Brian Dutcher said. And I spent too much time looking at Boise State stats last night. I wanted to look this one up for San Diego State.
Last time they lost when they held the opponent to that shooting?
Yeah.
Or what? Can't imagine.
Their record's probably darn near unbeatable. The one thing that I will say, though, is they only had, we talk about Boise State on the offensive glass. On the defensive glass, elite again. San Diego State only collected 4 offensive rebounds.
Yes.
And this year, when they're held under 5 offensive rebounds, they're only 2 and 4. So if you beat them on the glass, you can beat San Diego State. And yes, the 3-pointers and all that stuff gets the headlines, but it was Boise State's dominant effort on the boards that I think was the biggest difference maker in that game.
18-3 in second chance points,
Yep.
13 offensive rebounds. And you're right, a couple of those, Jay, there was no one else on San Diego State was even in the key.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a couple of those went right to RJ King, just put it back in. Right to Tyson Degenhart, put it right in. Right to Meadow, I think, had one where the San Diego State guys were just standing around, and it was super impressive to see the way they attacked the glass. And that was a massive point in this game.
And it's crazy because it really didn't even feel like a dramatic ending because Boise State really controlled it, right?
Yeah.
But there was a moment in that game where, Boise State's down 11. We're looking at each other and yeah, 44 or 22
Hey,
points.
we got Nate in the house.
What's up, Nate?
How you doing, man?
Boise State had 22 points with a minute to go in the first half, and all I'm thinking is oh my gosh, they're on pace to actually maybe score less than they did at San Diego State when they were held to 47. And then they hit 2 big threes, back-to-back possessions, and it made an 11-point deficit, a 5-point deficit going into the locker room. And that felt like the world of difference. And then in the second half, Boise State plays well, but Nick Boyd hit 2 back-to-back threes, and it put San Diego State back in front. And it just kind of felt like the classic, oh, man, San Diego State just doesn't go away. Here they come again, and they're going to do what they do. But Boise State threw the last punch, and it was a haymaker that knocked San Diego State out of this tournament. And now you have to wonder, man, Selection Sunday is going to get a lot more interesting if Boise State can win tonight against New Mexico.
Hey, Nathan, before we end the show, can we get you to cannonball into the pool here for us? All right, before we're done, before folks are asking for it on the not yet, before we're out of here, we'll get Nathaniel to cannonball into the pool here. Unless, Jay, you'd like to do it.
I'll let Nate Dogg do it. Yeah.
San Diego State, man, they're all of a sudden, and some of the questions post-game were was kind of their season being over, and even Nick Boyd said, well, our season's not over. Yeah. We got games, but you do wonder when the metrics are going to be about the same. I mean, San Diego State did still beat Boise State 2 out of 3 times.
But I really do think the last one, I think the last one evens it out. I think you say, they beat them twice. Boise State beat them the last time. I really think it becomes a tie at that point. I don't think you just go their head-to-head winning percentage is better. Boise State got them the final time, and I think it makes that argument a little more interesting. The one thing that San Diego State has, I know we've mentioned this a million times, they got to win over Houston. It's one of the best wins. It is the best win on a resume in the Mountain West Conference. Boise State has one over Clemson, which is that could look very good, especially if they can go on and win the ACC tournament.
So Joe Lenardi has moved Boise State to the first team out now. They were the 3rd team out. He does have North Carolina, Xavier, Texas, San Diego State in, but he still has Boise. So Indiana, they lost yesterday. That ended up being a big loss. They lost to Oregon, right?
Yeah, I think they lost kind of big, too.
Yeah, and that dropped them now, in his mind, below Boise State. Yep. So he still has Boise State first team out. Texas plays today. Does Xavier play again today?
They did. And who did? Well, actually, no, wait. I think Marquette came back and beat them yesterday.
So they're done. They cannot help themselves.
Yeah, let me check.
He still has Xavier ahead of Texas. He has dropped Ohio State down. He's got Colorado State, though, also right there as 3rd team out.
That's why you're probably going to root for Utah State today. You're probably if you're a member of Bronco Nation, I know it's going to pain you, but you probably want Utah State today
because you don't want Colorado State possibly stealing your bubble.
I
don't think Colorado State's at the point where they would pass Boise State if they both win, right?
I just don't want.
Unless Colorado State wins the tournament, I don't think you want Colorado State winning the tournament and stealing the bid.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
So that's Utah State's already got the bid. If they're both there on Selection Sunday, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I think you probably want Utah State to win today. And what I was just looking up though, when it comes to the net and stuff, BJ.
Yeah.
One thing. You use bracketologist.com at all?
I do.
Great website.
Yeah. It breaks it all down by quads
and this time of year, though, they start to put red over the teams that have been eliminated from their conference tournaments, and Boise State still not in red. They're still alive. But they bump up 3 spots to 43 in the net rankings, right behind New Mexico.
Where's San Diego State?
dropped down to 51. So yesterday's game, it was a quad 1 game yesterday. It's now a quad 2 game because San Diego State falls out of the top 50. They go up 1 spot. That's a quad 1 game, whatever. But I think the thing you have to ask now too, BJ, if Boise State wins today, I'm guessing they probably move ahead of New Mexico in the net rankings, right?
Okay.
So at that point in time, they're the second highest ranked team in the net rankings in the Mountain West Conference. And I don't know if they can catch Utah State. Utah State's at 37. I mean, like, there is a chance. There is a chance Boise State could wind up as the highest team in the net rankings in the Mountain West Conference and not go to the NCAA tournament.
But we both agree they at least have to win tonight to have a chance.
They got to win tonight. They have to win tonight.
The chips and salsa and guac have arrived. The food is coming in here.
What time is it? Jeez Louise.
We've got food coming in. We've got drinks. We're going to have quite the party here for folks that are stopping by.
Yeah.
And come on, Jay. It's Vegas. You got to live. Live a little bit, man.
Apparently, bud. Yeah.
We got to kill time till 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we head over to the arena tonight.
Yeah.
It's much more fun though, waking up and all that last night and this morning. We were joking. I mean, not joking about it, but it's kind of a tradition. Where on that Thursday game, we're looking to book our flights to head back home. And a lot of fans I know were on the fence. We talked to some last night whether or not they're even going to come this year. And my wife, I mean, if you could guarantee people they'd be in the championship, you would have obviously probably had more fans. But
that's going to be interesting to see if anybody tries to jump on a plane here on either tonight or tomorrow morning or whatever. If Boise State wins today.
Kip says Jay has standards before noon. Respect.
Thanks, Kip.
Todd says Guy and I will be over soon. All right, yeah, come on over, guys. We're gonna have some fun. The pools are heated. The games are on. I mean,
the one thing, real quick, like I know, and I mean, I made as big a deal as anybody. The path to getting the Mountain West Championship game, going back to that senior night loss against Colorado State, it drastically changed things. But now all of a sudden, there's a chance it could kind of play into your favor because you had a 3:30 tip last night. Or yesterday, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
You have a 7:30 tip Mountain Time tonight, 6:30 here locally.
Yep.
And Boise State, if they can win tonight, they will all be back in their hotels, watching film, getting ready to go to bed, while Utah State and Colorado State are still duking it out.
Yes.
Over at the Thomas and Mack Center. So that's like a 3-hour advantage. And I know, like, what do 3 hours do? When you have this type of tight turnaround, it could mean everything, because now all of a sudden, if you're playing in that later game, I mean, they might be walking out of the press conference at midnight, BJ. I mean midnight Mountain Time or whatever, but they're going to be getting into their beds, even locally, 12:30, 1:30, and they're trying to calm down from that game they just experienced. I mean, I think it's a big advantage, whoever wins this game today between Boise State and New Mexico going into the title matchup tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing that worked out in their favor by having to play in the 4-5 game. It is, I mean, we're done working. We're it's 10 o'clock or whatever. We're eating dinner. We're having a little bit of an evening.
It felt so weird.
We've been done for hours, but it wasn't even halftime yet of the Utah State game.
It was so.
It was the UNLV Utah. Yeah, UNLV Utah State.
It was so weird driving back to the hotel and it was still light out.
Unbelievable. If we had done that if they were in the 3 seed in the last game, I mean, I guess they would have been the 2 seed if they would have won. But I mean, that 3 seed is the worst because you played a late game both times.
Both times.
It is midnight Eastern tonight when that second game starts. Midnight Eastern.
Wish they could figure out a way to help everybody in the tournament.
Sparty in the house here. Some Michigan State fans. Who they got today?
They're beating up Oregon right now. I think. Okay. I saw them actually walking in here. They were in a really good mood because their team just went on like a 10-0 run or something.
Well, we're having a lot of fun here. Yeah. We are excited for this. We got our man Travis Hawks. We got. We're going to get Nate to go ahead and at some point here cannonball into the pool before we get out of here. But let's take a 30-second timeout. Thank a couple of our sponsors. We're right back here on Bronco Nation News Live.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RovePaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
All right, we found Travis Hawks here. Travis, you have to kind of back up a little bit there. Well, there you go. There's Travis.
There we go. This looks normal.
Now, there's a photo circulating that they posted of you on. Did you see the photo, Jay? There's a photo of the crowd, and there's an energetic Travis Hawks just really just getting into it there. I mean, that was a fun one last night.
Yeah, I came to contribute, but yeah, just an unbelievable win. So proud of those guys. I mean, that's a tough team. We know that. That's a tough team. It's always a battle with them and a lot on the line for both teams. And for Boise State, I mean, they were the tougher team. They played harder. They were tougher. They out-rebounded them by a long ways. Offensive rebounds 13-3. Toughest team wins. And Boise State was the toughest team yesterday.
Absolutely. Toughest team wins those matchups. What a fun game. There was some speculation, I know, amongst Bronco Nation of whether or not, they should make the trip. You happy it came now, Travis?
Absolutely.
I'm not saying we never doubted you would be here, but I don't. Yeah.
There is less fans here. And I think, the season a little uneven at times. And so maybe not as many people plan to travel. But, over the last 4 years, I would say definitely the fewest Boise State fans here. Maybe more people will get inspired to head down today to come see, because we got a big winnable game tonight and then can play for a championship tomorrow.
And New Mexico is going to have a crowd.
Oh my gosh, there were so many New Mexico people there yesterday, and I talked to some of their fans, and the New Mexico fans love me. This is well documented, but they said that more are coming, and I think that it's going to be, 20-1, 30-1.
It might be
tonight. I am hopeful
but it's still not the Pit. It's still not the Pit.
It's not the Pit, and I do think the Utah State and Colorado State fans will probably be rooting for us.
Yeah, so it's not the Pit, but I mean, you walk in there and
they have the upper level. They had people on both sections of the. I haven't seen too many people ever sitting in the upper level.
They got all they're chanting in unison. I mean, it might not be the Pit, but it kind of felt like a home game last night.
Yeah, they have a lot of people here, and again, more coming. And they number one seed. I mean, they're feeling it. So it's going to be interesting. There's a lot on the line for all four of these teams.
Yes.
Playing tonight. It's not like a situation where all four are already in the tournament.
This is probably the four the Mountain West would have wanted in the semifinals, I think.
Yeah,
to try to maximize the bids. I mean, you would have rather had Boise State win probably because San Diego State was already in a little better spot.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
It'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But this is going to be a battle tonight. And benefits us to play early if we win, because we'll have more rest time going into tomorrow. And let's hope that if we do win, let's hope that Colorado State Utah State game goes into triple overtime.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You guys had dinner. We had worked. We we see some of you guys, and it's like we've been done. It felt like the game had been over for several hours, and you're still it's still not even halftime of the Utah State game or whatever. And that 3 seed, man. Those games are so late.
So late. Yeah, we had dinner. We had rested. We had hung out, and then the Utah State game was just starting. So that was late last night.
By the way, we do have Gavin here. Says Patino has been having nightmares about Travis leading into this game tonight. Are you going to try to reacquaint yourself with Richard Patino before the game?
I think he will be happy to see me. He may give me a hug. I don't know, but
you should try to make it over there and at least say hello to him or try to shake his hand. I mean, come on.
I would like to do that.
I bet you he would embrace it. I think he's that character, right? Like,
well, there was
all this stuff.
There was either another fan that was saying something or he didn't hear what he thought he heard, right?
Well, I think what happened is when you asked him about it after the game,
I mean, we got BJ over there just twisting the knife after the game.
Doing me all the favors in the world, but
what I'm here for, man.
I think what happened was when you asked him about it, he realized that it was pretty silly for him to be interacting with a fan while the game was going on, and so then he had to embellish what was actually happening and what was said. I'm not excited to face Donovan Dent. He's obviously one of the best players in the conference, maybe the second best player in the conference, but he played great.
Who's the first?
He played great last night, and we're gonna have to do a good job on him tonight.
And this is, New Mexico obviously laid it to him down there at the Pit. Boise State got him back. It's a very even game, but there's just something about, I don't know, like, once you get that first monkey off your back on Thursday, I kind of feel like for Boise State, they don't really care who they're playing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that was and we had lost to San Diego State twice, obviously, this year, and so that was a big game last night against a very physical team. I've never seen anyone defend Cardenius like that for 40 straight minutes. I mean, it was how there were no fouls called, I don't know, but it was crazy what he had to go through. And so that was a tough task. But again, like I said at the top, like the Broncos, they played harder. They had a great game plan. They got the loose balls. And it was awesome to see different guys contribute. I mean, Keen's putback, Omar's block. There was that sequence where 4 different players dove on the floor for the ball. I mean, that's what you want. That's March basketball, right? That's what we want to see.
There's certainly things about last year's team that maybe might have been better than this year's team. But one thing I will say, watching Alvaro last night and just going back to last year and, just having thinking about some of the ball handling struggles and stuff like that, whether it be Jace Whiting or even Roddy, or man, like Alvaro was such an unbelievable addition to this team, and you never even question whether or not he was going to be able to handle it last night. He has been such a massive addition, and kind of another, I agree with you, Travis, an underlying storyline of why Boise State won last night.
No question. I mean, we were talking about that last night, that last year we would have lost a couple turnovers, just with that ball pressure and bringing the ball up the floor. And, he had a couple turnovers like any point guard's going to have, but not bringing the ball up. No. He brought the ball up successfully despite that pressure every time. And what did he play? 36, 38 minutes? I mean, he did not come out much.
Almost 38.
What were you thinking when they just kept shooting 3 after 3 after 3?
Well, during the game, I was imagining that in the timeouts, they were like, stop shooting threes, go to the basket.
That's what we said. There's no way this is the game
plan.
And
then I found out after the game that was the game plan. And, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, it obviously worked with the 13 offensive rebounds. And also, San Diego State is the best number 1 shot blocking team in the country. So, turns out the coaches are smarter than the fans and know that the plan to go to the basket probably isn't great against San Diego State. And we really limited San Diego State's fast break points, which I think was really critical because they're not a great half-court offense team.
Agreed.
And, I think they thought we probably needed to shoot a little better from 3 for that plan to work. But the offensive rebounds in San Diego State going cold in those last 9 minutes gave us the win.
I saw a lot of San Diego State fans actually kind of complaining about the lack of off. They didn't run a ton of sets, and the offense just didn't really do much. And sure enough, what they missed 9-10 shots in a row to end the game.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have.
At one point in time, they were certainly 1 for 11 down the stretch, and I think they even missed a couple after that.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't score a field goal in the last 9 minutes of the game.
Their half-court offense combined with our half-court defense in the last 10 minutes. I mean, we were playing tremendous defense. We stopped giving up the kind of easier baskets around the hoop, and they were not getting good shots.
So how do you feel about tonight? What's your gut say?
My gut says we're going to win. I think this team came in here with a mission and with a belief. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, this game could go either way, and New Mexico is a very good team. But I do think that we're going to pull it out, and it feels like this team has that kind of chip on the shoulder team of destiny thing going for it right now. And I think as long as we don't run into the other team shooting 57% from the floor type situation, I think we can win. We've been playing really well for the last few weeks, and outside of that Colorado State team just shooting the lights out and not being able to stop Clifford, we've been winning. So we beat Utah State, we beat New Mexico, we beat San Diego State. I think we can beat New Mexico again.
Well, Travis, we appreciate you coming down and supporting Circa here. You said you had a good dinner last night at Barry's.
Unbelievable dinner at Barry's. If you've never been there, highly recommend it. The rib cap is the best steak I've ever had, and it's just a first-class establishment. And
you're literally bringing the rib cap to a upcoming restaurant in Boise because of the Barry's rib cap.
That is true. There's no rib cap in Boise. So new restaurant that's opening here in a couple weeks. I've convinced the owners to add that to the menu, and I'm excited to give that a try.
Well, we appreciate you coming down, man. It was fun hanging out last night, and should be fun tonight. Appreciate you stopping by today. Blue and Orange Store, any specials, daily deals, anything you want to throw in there?
Always lots of good stuff going on, lots of Bronco gear. And
what time Sunday night will the We're Dancing shirts be available?
That's a good question, but let's get in the tournament, and let's. I think this is it. I think if we can get in that tournament, I think we break through this year. We've got the seniors and the belief, and that we're playing the right way now, right? Like we're winning with rebounding and defense, and that's been the hallmark. we can break through if we can get in.
Well, thanks, Travis. Appreciate you, man.
Okay, go Broncos.
We got blue sky coming out, Jay. We're having a good time. It's warming up a little bit here. Want to thank a few of our great sponsors that make this show possible, including our title sponsor, rowpaint.com, roepaint.com, all your painting needs. Check them out online, rowpaint.com, and whether it's those concrete coatings, interior, exterior painting, make sure you hit them up at rowpaint.com. SON Management Group, the Nicolason family, helping us out with Taco Bell, TacoBellWorks.com. If you're looking for a meal, get the family to Taco Bell tonight before the game. Perfect dinner. Don't have to worry about cooking Friday night, and then you can get to Taco Bell and get home in time for the game. Whether it's the Lux Cravings boxes, the Cantina bowls, all kinds of great options there. And they are hiring. So if you're looking for a spot to work, Taco Bell has you covered. TacoBellWorks.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. The best in the business if you're looking for a mobile e-branch online banking. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. There's a branch pretty much on every corner, but the easiest, that mobile e-branch online banking right there in your smartphone. Check it out. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. Hey, Jackson's has that 99-cent coffee and fountain drink. 99-cent coffee and fountain drink available at Jackson's anytime, day or night. Just use that Let's Go Rewards app, and you can get your coffee 99 cents at Jackson's. Snake River Pool and Spa, Patio and Game, thespateam.com. They got locations in Twin Falls, Boise, Meridian, Nampa. Been around since 1978. They're part of the Boise State home team. Whether it's a spa, a sauna, a pool table, they got you covered. View their full inventory and their options online at thespateam.com. And Lithia Ford of Boise, we'll have the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show tonight. LithiaFordBoise.com. You can view their inventory online. They got to get rid of some of those 2024 models. So they got some great deals going on right now. View them online. Go check them out in person on Fairview Avenue there in Boise. And we just were joined by Travis Hawks. We appreciate him. The Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com, the Blue and Orange Store, online anywhere in the world. You can have it shipped to you, or you can go into the Boise Town Square Mall there, the second floor next to Pro Image. And again, the Blue and Orange Store, theblueandorangestore.com. Yeah, we are having, it's not terrible. We talked about last year. We had 200 people RSVP'd, Jay, and then it rained, and then they lost. And we still had 20 or 30 people, brave the elements and come on out.
Honestly, I think the worst element of that was the defeat, because,
yes,
it feels a little, maybe it's just the fact that they won last night. It does feel quite a bit warmer today, despite the fact it's cool for Vegas. I think it's 47 degrees or something.
Yeah. Well, the pools are heated here. When this show's over, I will be getting in the pool, and in the next 15 minutes or so before we end the show, we will have a cannonball attempt here from our man Nate Wilder. But all right, let's kind of spin this head a little bit, Jay. I mean, it was a massive win. They chose the game plan they thought would work for them. Yeah, I'm not fully convinced it did work. They went 11 for 40, but
I don't think you see that tonight, by the way.
Okay, so what is this? Is a much more,
I could be wrong, but I
know there's some New Mexico fans watching this, and I really don't want this to come off the right way. They're a heck of a team. They won the conference. They are first place.
Yeah,
but I do think there is something to Boise State getting that first monkey off their back, winning that first game, taking a deep breath, and it really not mattering who they play tonight. I feel like they're going to come out and play better, hit more shots. They got that first game out of the jitters, all that out of their way. They're moving on, and I think this team, as you heard last night, they don't want this to be the final time. I mean, it was they're down 11, Jay, and there's a minute left in the half or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's like we're kind of looking at each other, going, "Okay, do we get Southwest Airlines up on the computer again?" I mean, it was not looking good, and for them to battle back and just to hear them talking about it after the game, it just seems like there is something about this team where they are just not ready to go out like this. And tonight against New Mexico, tough matchup. Two of the best players in the league, the player of the year, the coach of the year, two first-team all-league players. Right, Dent was first team as well. Somebody said, I think Junior Joseph was first team. He had 19 rebounds last night, I believe.
I actually put Nelly Junior Joseph as my defensive player of the year in the Mountain West Conference.
Wow.
He was on my ballot for that.
Okay. He's a game changer down there.
He's a game changer. I was looking it up, and I'm blanking off the top of my head, but it's something along the lines of the amount of blocks, the amount of steals. I believe it's over 40 blocks, over 40 steals, and maybe 200 defensive rebounds or something like that. There are not many, if any, that have done that in a Mountain West Conference. In the Mountain West Conference, he is really, really good. Plays with high energy, high effort. Great player. And then Donovan Dent, man. And another guy, too, that I personally really like that doesn't get enough pub. I actually put him on my third team All Mountain West ballot. True Washington. Fantastic defender. Can shoot it. Like, he is a really good player.
Yeah.
Mustafa Amzil. He
didn't play in the second game in Boise.
Exactly. He'll make a difference. He's size, length, can shoot. He'll make a difference.
I don't know. Again, it's going to come off wrong. They'll probably clip this and say I'm saying New Mexico's no good, whatever. No, they handed it to them in Albuquerque. They are the champs for a reason.
Yep.
I just kind of feel like there was something about yesterday's matchup that it was maybe a little more scary. I don't know what the right word is. I'm not saying it's an easy matchup for Boise State by any means. I mean, New Mexico, I'm actually surprised, Jay, they're only favored by 1.5. I just feel like that maybe Boise State just matches up a little better with New Mexico. Is that a fair way to say it?
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I just think that I think Boise State will be ready for this.
And you said you want Utah State in the
I think you do.
Utah State, yeah, you want to get Colorado State off the bubble because if they win the tournament, that's a spot.
Yep.
Because the bubble has not been kind to Boise State, but the one thing, keep your fingers crossed, that has not happened yet is you haven't had any bid stealers.
Correct.
I mean, there's still plenty of conference tournaments to go here, but
the bubble has not been. Yeah, the bubble has not been kind to Boise State, but there haven't been too many bid stealers yet. But again, BJ, that's what actually happens in these next 3 days because we're finally at the bid stealing time, right?
Yeah. I should have guessed that the first person to dive into the chips and salsa would be Travis Hawks.
Somebody's got to, right?
Okay. Do you believe that Omar Stanley continues to start?
Yeah, I do. I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know why. I picked up a couple quick fouls last night, but I thought he impacted the game.
What did you make of that moving screen they called? Was that a foul?
Love it. Yeah, I didn't love it.
What do you guys think about that? That moving screen they called early in the game? I mean, Nick Boyd, man, he sent him flying, and then Nick Boyd, of course, gets up and is getting the crowd going into it early. And I'll tell you what, man, that team enjoys they enjoy a lot of things, but playing above the rim too, man. That alley-oop off the glass, that alley-oop they had off the backboard was on a transit. I mean, it's one thing when it's a 2-on-none break, but I forget who was standing there and kind of, that alley-oop off the glass was super impressive.
Oh, yes.
But then they tried it again and actually led to a Boise State kind of basket the other way. So all the momentum, the crowd, everything was all for San Diego State. And then they just came back. They just found a way, man. They just found a way.
That's what it takes down here. You got to find a way. Tougher team wins. You create your own luck. Maybe you get a little luck elsewhere, and then you survive to play on semifinal Friday.
They're saying hard screen, but not a foul. Tone setter. The screen showed up hard. Yeah, that was a foul.
But honestly, though, I'm almost okay with it too because that did set the tone. Now again, when all 43s went up, don't look at the ball. Look at what was going on in terms of Boise State being the more physical team.
Logan says, Jay, you can check the scores behind you. You don't need to look at your phone there.
Thanks, Logan.
Any close games here? What do we even got here?
I don't think there are. It's too early.
Now that's one you got to watch. Memphis is tied with Wichita State. That's a big stealer.
It is so. I can't even believe how early games begin here.
Yeah, there was a game at 8 a.m. I believe. That's a potential bid stealer to watch, though. You cannot have Wichita State beat Memphis.
No, actually, what I was looking up too is that you look at Bart Torvik's rankings and stuff like that. And Boise State starting to inch back up there in terms of their percentages to maybe make the NCAA tournament. A lot of them lie in being the automatic bid and winning the Mountain West Conference tournament, but they're starting to inch back up. And I know I can't find it on my phone at the moment, but I know there's a way to do like the day cast he's got. Yeah. And you can see whether they win or lose, how much more it goes up. And I feel like it's got to get back almost near a coin flip. I don't feel great about a coin flip on Saturday or on Selection Sunday, by the way, but it feels like it's inching back towards that, especially if they can get a win today. Now,
Chad says, how many beers or shots did BJ buy Jay last night? The answer is 0, right?
0.
Oh, it might have been 1 at dinner. I did at Saginaw's. We did have dinner.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
We did have 1. So I could say we had 1 beverage, yes. And that was
I only drank half of it though.
Yes, okay. So yeah. So you owe me half the money.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is a cool place though. I know you've stayed here before, but this place is we had a chance to check out Legacy Club on the 60th floor last night and do we were still in bed by probably 10:30. I mean, we got our work done, but there was a little time. We got our sleep, we got our work done, but there was a little time to kind of enjoy. And I tell you what, man, not to have you give an infomercial for Circa, but I know the Mountain West Media Days are coming back here for football and just some good people here. There we go. We got Guy and Todd in the house here. What's up, guys? This is a fun place, though. I'm glad.
It
I'm
is.
glad the Mountain West has a relationship.
Honestly, I feel like I actually get to enjoy it this time because now it's usually it's such a quick stay.
If you guys want a beverage, a water, we got some chips and salsa. Make yourself at home here. We got about 5 minutes left, and then Jay can start partaking in the party as well. I'm trying to see back there. Okay, so Ole Miss, Auburn, that game doesn't matter. None of those games really matter.
I don't think
Wichita State's the one over there to watch. Wichita State.
Oh, but yeah, you mean if they win the tournament, they could be a bid stealer. Yeah, actually that's a good point. No, you want Memphis to win that tournament because the American Athletic Conference is a one bid league. It should be at least.
All right, so tonight's game, someone said they want Meadow and Carmichael to be big. Talk about Andrew Meadow. He played with vigor last night, was battling under the rim. What did he shoot? He had a big three early in the game.
Nobody
he was
had
2 of 8 from three, though, 4 of 13 from the field, but he did have 12.7 rebounds.
Yeah, nobody had off the charts shooting percentages last night. Like nobody did. But man, Meadow plays so hard. Like that guy, you can tell he just has a passion for the game, plays with fire and energy. He's a super humble kid, so he doesn't show a ton of emotion, but man, he's got a heck of a motor.
Somebody was asking if Vern Harris will be back on the officiating crew tonight. You got to see Vern up close in person last night.
Made a couple of interesting. There was one actually late in the game that was pretty obvious. Was it out of bounds or something?
There was an out of bounds at the other end of the floor. Yeah, and they showed the replay, and the crowd was.
And then the funny thing is that sometimes in those moments, I think I'm not saying they'll give you an obvious call, but they might let something go. No, 3 seconds later, there was a questionable foul call and dinged Boise State for it immediately.
Yeah. Usually the other team should be the one.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Or at least just don't call the foul at that point in time.
But there was more than 2 minutes, right? So they couldn't review it.
There was 2 minutes and 24 seconds, I believe. Yeah, when that ball went out of bounds, so they couldn't review it, and it was so obvious.
We got some North Carolina fans in the house. We got some other teams here. Conference. Oh, we got Jay, you said it's never too early for the Tito's here. I hope that's not for my keep on walking there. Keep on walking. Yeah. We're not. I don't know who back here. Maybe Nate the Great ordered some Tito's or something. But this place is something else, man.
It is.
I was down there getting energy drink about 7 o'clock this morning, and there's people hooting and hollering at the craps table.
Man, I've never stayed on the stadium swim side.
Yeah.
And about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden you hear to start feeling the bass start to pulsate the room or whatever.
All right, what are your final kind of keys tonight, Jay? And obviously they're going to have to. I think you'd take 11 makes tonight, but not on 40 attempts. Maybe on 26, 27.
I think you got to prove that you're ready to throw a different game plan at New Mexico. I don't know if you're necessarily catching by surprise, but be more physical. Again, that's just what it's going to take. And Pearson Carmichael had a decent game yesterday. He went off against New Mexico in his first career start, up in Boise. Again, who is going to help Tyson Degenhardt and Alvaro Cardenas? Who's going to be that third? And Andrew Meadow for that matter. But they just need that other guy to provide a punch. I'll say this too. Actually, they need something from the bench today. It's been a couple games. The bench has been a little quiet, especially when it comes to scoring.
Now, part of that is Omar Stanley starting takes away a little of that.
That's fine, but maybe and Jaden rolled his ankle yesterday, so hopefully he's okay. But they could use a little bit of punch from the bench. A couple of big buckets off the bench would be big.
We're trying to confirm this here, but Devo Bronx saying Vern Harris just threw Boucher out of the hotel an hour ago.
That's so funny.
Boucher had the whole family here.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw his had his son and daughter with him and the wife, and we were sitting across from the fans. So I don't know if you ever glanced. You were sitting right next to me. We kind of glanced over to the other side, and you could see all the fans and family members and Jay, it's a road game tonight. That's the big storyline as well.
Yeah.
Because you have to imagine even for a noon Thursday game, there's more New Mexico fans probably coming down. You got to hope there were some planes floated with Boise State fans today because it was pretty one-sided.
Yeah. Either way, that's the way it's going to be. There'd have to be a lot of Boise State fans making the trip down today for it to make that much of make really any impact because New Mexico always travels really well here, and it feels like it should be closer, but it is like the same type of drive hour-wise from Albuquerque as it is from Boise to Vegas.
All right, are you ready, Mr. Nate the Great? Here, let's turn the camera
get out of the way
bit.
here.
No, you're good. You're probably good. We'll turn the camera here and show the pool here. Hopefully, we got to slide over a little more today. All right. So we got Nate the Great here. All right, man. If you're ready, give it a shot here. This is for the win tonight and for another game tomorrow. For another game, hopefully tomorrow. There you go. In honor of Johnny Ballgame, he said Haga friggin' Laga. And how is it? Is it warm? It's good? There it is. Jay Tust, now getting ready. You're next.
Nah, I'm gonna go get ready for.
You gonna head over to the gym?
Everything else I got to do today.
What is the KTVB working, folks? At KTVB.com. Where's all this good stuff?
See you during the news at 4, 6, and 10, and we'll preview it at 4 and 6, and
I was having to hold.
bring you news at 10.
Jay usually has private security with him.
No, totally.
But last night I was having to try to. You were going live there from the sports book. Had some security guys kind of looking around a little bit.
Yeah.
We avoided a little bit of an issue there last night. You were getting close to, but you got it done.
Got it done, man. Appreciate it.
Of all the live shots you've done, doing one there is probably pretty cool. But Jay, appreciate you. Tust is headed to the gym. Johnny Ballgame says.
Maybe we'll see.
Appreciate you for coming by, man.
All right, buddy.
The great Jay Tust. Appreciate Jay for coming by. Appreciate all you guys for checking us out. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors, everybody, subscribers. We're going to be hanging out here, having a party for a few more hours. If you're in Vegas and want to come hang out, we'll be here till about 2 o'clock. We got some food, some drinks. We're going to hang out and man, going to be fun tonight. 5 o'clock Pacific time, 6 o'clock back in Boise. We'll have the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show, 6 o'clock back in Boise courtside as we get you set for the 7:30 tip-off. Jay, semifinal Friday. Pretty cool. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Go read our coverage at BroncoNationNews.com. Go check out Jay and Brady and their stuff over at KTVB.com. Watch them on the news tonight. And then again, we'll join you tonight, 6 o'clock. The Lithia Florida Boise pregame show live here at Stadium Swim. We're going to be partying all day. Come hang out with us. This is Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.
Bronco Nation News is presented by our title sponsor, RowPaint.com. Our major sponsors, Idaho Central Credit Union, Taco Bell, Lithia Ford, the Blue and Orange Store, Jackson's, and our contributing sponsors, Signature Roofing, Western Collective, Snake River Pool and Spa, Transportation Compliance Service, Boucher Real Estate, Ridley's Family Markets, Circa Las Vegas, Lean Feast, and Timberstone Golf Course.
If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it. If you think I'm pretty, lay your hands on me. No, you can't stop thinking about it. I know that you're shitty and you're bad for me, but I can't stop thinking about it.
It's game day. Are you ready?
Let's go!
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust RowPaint.com to get that job done right.